Hey, Ag Teacher Thoughts coming at you with another video on this wet, damp, drizzly, rainy Saturday. What I want to do is I want to show you how to add Lexan sheeting to the side of a greenhouse. Now this is recycled material, so you're going to see some goobers and gobbers and things all over the material, but this is a secondhand greenhouse for us. So what I'm going to show you is how to put this corrugated Lexan, which is I believe 3/8 thick, with 3/8 wide cells in there, so it's double walled. It is insulated. It provides a really great light transmission for a greenhouse, so it's why it's one of our materials that we're using. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to put this sheeting on. I've got one piece up already, and I'm going to put on a second piece, show you how to join them together, and then how to add the cap on the top of it. Now the one thing I will point out is we do have a subgrade trench running along through here. We are getting our sheeting as close as we can to the bottom. It is an irregular height, so there are some challenges as we go along. But don't worry, we're going to fill that in with some material so that will seal the bottom edge of our sheeting. It'll also allow any condensation that builds up in here to drip down the channels, and then it'll soak into the dirt that we add down below there, and it'll be out of our workspace.
Can we show them what kind of dripping it's going to take care of? Look up above you.
Oh, the rain. Yeah, it's raining pretty good. So a couple of things to remember when you're doing this. You do need some safety gear. Lexan is a very, very rigid, very sturdy material, but it can shatter. So you do want to wear the safety glasses. We are going to use an impact gun. So as any ag teacher, I'm going to tell you, you need to have your PPE. So some ear protection, some eye protection. If you are cutting this, which I do cut this with a circular saw, I'm doing that in our shop where it's dry, you do want to wear respiratory equipment and make sure you're definitely wearing that eye protection when you're doing that, and your hearing protection. So with this, again, this is recycled material, so there's some goobers in here, but I'll show you what this connection looks like. So it looks kind of like a T. This is it's either 3/8 or 1/2 inch connector. The sheeting slips into this gap here on both sides, and it allows you to adjust it to make sure that you have it nice and square, and it squeezes nice and tight to have a good seal there, to make sure that your siding has a good an air seal. Okay, so what I've done is I've gone through and I've measured and cut all my sheet metal, or my Lexan, to the height that I want. I'm leaving a gap here because I will be putting a U-channel on top of it. But let's go ahead and slip on the connector. In this case, the wide flange goes to the back and the narrow flange goes to the front. I simply go in, catch the back edge. Go ahead and come along where you can see that. You can get nice and close. Okay, so I catch that wide edge there. I put it in, and then I like to line it all the way up and shove it down. Now, do be careful when you're working with Lexan if you've never worked with it before. It does get rather sharp, so if you drag your hand across that, you might have an issue there. I don't have my block of wood, so I'll just use a sleeve, and I'll put that there so I don't cut myself. All right, so this is my connector. I'm going to take a level, so you will need a level, and I'm going to make sure that this connection is level as I'm working on it, which means I might need to tap this out just a little bit. So I'll just use my little tool here to be able to catch that. And that is now nice and level. Okay, this is one of the tools I'll use when that Lexan gets stuck. So I do have some self-tapping screws. It's pretty much what the greenhouse is held together with, is self-tapping screws, and these do have a washer on them. They do take a 3/8 drive, and I just put them on there and I snug it up. And I do that on both ends. Should probably have my ear pro on. Okay, it's gently snugged up. Move my tools down. Now, just like we slip this onto this sheet, we're going to take this sheet and we're going to slip it in here into our gap. So I'm going to come up here, nice and high. Fit that into that H channel and slip it in, go all the way down. So sometimes it does not like to go into the channel, and that's where these tools come in handy. So with this is the tool that I put on the back side. So I slip this in the backside of the H channel, and it's just long enough, it fits right here on the backside. So we'll go ahead and I'll go around and put that in. So that slips into the backside of my H channel. Okay, and that gives me a surface that I can push against when I'm pushing in my sheeting. So I've got that there, and then I can come in and I can shove this in. It's going to help me line it up. Now I have a couple more tools that I'll use to align that in there. These are just L-shaped pieces of sheet steel. I think it's 20 or 22 gauge sheet steel. So I'll put this in here. Oh, I completely slipped out again. Put this in, try to connect it, slide it in. Okay, it's starting to hang up right here. I can come in with my tool, push it in there, and then as I move that up, it makes sure that one layer of Lexan goes one direction and one layer of Lexan goes the other. Okay. Kind of use our other hands. Grab in there again so I can bring in another tool. Run it in between these layers. Only having difficulty because you guys are all watching. All right, let's do this. Grab it with the big one, drag that down. We'll put that little one there. Put this next one up here. We can move these back and forth. Got my hammer. Normally you use a hammer to help with all this. Move these tools back and forth again. Bring this up a little bit. There we go. All right, so that is now all in there. Those can come out. A guide piece in the back can come down. Then we come in with our level. We make sure that it is level, which it is. And the only other thing we need to do is, I didn't see that earlier, we are going to need to drop this down all the way. Let's try it again. I'm going to bring that up just a little bit. There, that should work there. It's all the way in our channel. As you're going, as soon as you get that level attached, you're going to want to put in your first screws. All right, so we've got that in there. I know it's not perfect. We aren't building on a level surface here.